we're talking best ball potential busts. Was there any names that really stuck out to you, Dan, right away, or do you want me to throw some names at you?
Throw some names at me.
All right, here we go. How you feeling about Austin Eckler in Washington right now? He's coming off of a down year, left the Chargers, uncertain surroundings with the next team. He's going a lot later than he has been in previous years as far as drafts, but could Eckler be washed at this point?
Oh yeah, he could definitely be washed. Granted, I'm going to give him a little bit of grace because it was a high ankle sprain that he tried to come back. High ankle sprains are brutal injuries for running backs or any position, really. You can't rush that. And I applaud him for trying to gut through it, but the proof is in the pudding. His production suffered from it. So now that he's in a different scenario, joins Washington Commanders, who have a completely different outlook now that they have Jaden Daniels as their quarterback. I'm actually okay with Jaden Daniels being his quarterback because, obviously there's the rushing upside. This guy's drawing comps to Lamar Jackson. I think that tends to bode well for a running back just because it's a rookie. He's going to be getting outside of the pocket. One thing that will keep him honest is being able to just turn around and hand the ball off. And, Austin Eckler's been pretty efficient in terms of catching the ball out of the backfield. He's always among the league leaders in receptions at running back. And, I think that's going to be a pretty good safety valve for him when he escapes the pocket to just be able to dump it off there. The run option certainly going to be in play there too. So I'm not completely writing off Austin Eckler. I just wouldn't expect, anywhere near the top value, top 3 round value that we were getting, over the last several seasons with him in San Diego or Los Angeles.
Yeah, is there a chance he just becomes the change of pace back to Brian Robinson Jr. though? Is like the third down guy, or
how much money is he making?
It's a 1 year $4 million. It's 1 year $4 million guaranteed.
$4 million isn't terrible for 1 year. That being said, I'm not sure, so I'm just trying to look real quick.
Sorry, it's a 2 year $8 million, but $4 million guaranteed. There's an out after 2025, so it's basically they're on the hook here for a 1 year $4 million.
So right now he's right behind Nick Chubb, who's coming off of an injury, and sandwiched between Gus Edwards,
which is kind of ironic because that's who's replacing him. So, or Dobbins and him are, yeah.
Yeah. So one person that I'm looking at that I feel like is being, like, if I had the option, if I'm on the clock and Austin Eckler's sitting there, I'd much rather have Tyjae Spears, who's ranked roughly 5 spots beneath him in drafts. And Brian Robinson is right behind Tyjae Spears. So I think you might be onto something there, McKee, that Austin Eckler's value might be a little bit propped up just based off previous performance. I think there's a couple more exciting players that I might take there just based off of their age, their situation, and, not coming off of an injury, going to a new team, and potentially not having a lot of money tied to his contract.
Yeah. Here is one that I am, as a Cardinals fan, I'm bummed out about, but I think he's going way too high. Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got an ADP in best ball right now of 17. He's going just behind Devontae Adams and ahead of Chris Olave, ahead of Drake London. And Drake London, has the new quarterback coming in with Kirk Cousins, a new scheme coming in. We don't know, outside of what people are saying, that he's the most NFL-ready wide receiver that we've seen in years. We don't really know how he's going to do with the Cardinals scheme yet, with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he did play better when he had DeAndre Hopkins there as like a big number 1 wide receiver. He wasn't the same as soon as Hopkins left and got injured. But we don't know how this Arizona team is going to do that. I think that's just way too high for a rookie wide receiver with so many unknowns. Where are you at with Marvin Harrison Jr., Dan?
I don't know that I'm So we started this off on a bust conversation. I don't know that I would consider him to be a bust, considering he's gonna be a top. He's probably gonna be a top 10 wide receiver this year as a rookie already, and I'm just basing that off of the fact that Kyler Murray's healthy. His competition right now for targets is like what? Rondell Moore, Trey McBride.
No, Rondell Moore's not there anymore. They've traded him away for Ritter.
Yeah, it's like Michael Wilson from last year, and then Greg Dortch, and then they just signed Zay Jones. It's like it's pretty, it's very clear. It's a great situation for him. It's just that's very expensive. Like those names he's next to, like Saquon and Devontae Adams and stuff. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but I mean, he's got the size. I mean, obviously the pedigree, playing Ohio State and balling. It is a high price to pay, but at this point, Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, I wouldn't take him over Garrett Wilson if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, but like I'm okay with his current ADP, considering that he's probably just going to be funneled targets because there isn't that much competition around him. I think that's going to stop. This guy's a top draft pick. Like he's going to get burned like right away.
I'd argue this could be a situation kind of like, not that they're the same position, but like Bijan last year, like where it's like a surefire bet, he's going to get fed and stuff like that. But it's like, we all know he's super talented watching him, but statistically he wasn't, he was a bust given where he was drafted. He was disappointing. I could see that sort of thing happening. Definitely not that it's likely. I think that's more of an outlier, but I think it's something to consider.